Do 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 do. Crime time
with my bestie.
I forgot.
I'm Anna Etches, and this is just Fact Attack. And we can't do our intro anymore. But we are Crime Time with my bestie.
I was so convinced it would be perfect this time because it was your episode. And for some reason, I forgot that I say the crime time bit. I was like, I do the tune, right? And you do the rest.
You do the tune, and I do most of the rest.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
it's a shame for your episode as well because they're normally so perfect.
Well, it's because I'm perfect.
What does that make me? Rude. I'm alright.
You're alright. I guess I'll keep you.
I'm a chaotic mess that can't apparently do a theme tune, so...
Hey, I'm a chaotic mess in other ways.
We balance each other out, it's fine.
Yeah, we're just not chaotic at the same time, or if we are, we complement each other's chaos.
That's fine. Yeah, if we were both mega chaotic at the same time, I don't think I'd be able to cope. I think it would just fuel a level of anxiety that I couldn't manage.
No, same.
Anyways, today's episode 9.
I know.
I saw it come up in the link that we sent for the recording, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're 1 away from double digits.
I know, and we haven't even thought if we're going to do something special for it. Maybe 20.
Yeah, I've already got my teasers for the next episode, and I'm quite excited for it because I've gone for something a little bit silly.
Ooh.
So I would quite like to keep it, unless we both just did like a, because it actually might end up being quite a short one, so maybe we could both do like a double episode, but that would involve you having to do research.
I'm going to do another lot of research. I don't think I can handle it.
Just having like a existential crisis right now at the idea of double research and double editing. Because who edits it? We'll do rock, paper, scissors for it.
You've stunned me into silence. Don't make me edit another episode.
I'm sorry. No, I think we'll keep things to our regularly scheduled programming. I think maybe we should do it either as our 20th episode or our 21st, because that was the
goal.
That's the goal. So maybe that's our hurrah episode. We made it to 21. We're more statistically likely to be successful, and that's how we gauge how to celebrate our podcast.
Yeah, I like it. What are we going to do after 21 episodes? We're going to have to set another goal, because I was saying we were at a roller derby game at the weekend, and I was talking to some of our team about it. And I was saying we're halfway to our goal.
I have to interrupt that. I have to interrupt you. You said our team.
Well, it is.
It's official.
I do come and do all the social stuff.
You have done a lot of social stuff recently, but I'm taking that as meaning you're going to come back and you're going to be a fabulous skater rather than just our honorary cheerleader.
I've never promised any of that.
You're on the website now.
I am a cheerleader through and through. I come to, I would say, about 75% of the games.
Oh yeah, easy.
So it is my team as well, our team, but I am the cheerleader. And the fill-in person when you need someone else.
But anyways, I'm so sorry. I did interrupt. You were saying you were talking to somebody at the game about the podcast.
That we were halfway to our goal, that it's creeping up quickly. We're all of a sudden at episode 9, and our goal is 21 episodes.
Oh, that's so nice. And I think as well, like, it has gone quite quick.
Yeah,
in the sense of what we've been live since July. So what, like nearly 3 months?
I think so.
I'd say that. I won't touch my phone to check our socials, but yeah.
You can touch your phone. You just can't leave it on loud or vibrate next to the microphone.
Can you turn off vibrate so it just makes no noise whatsoever? Oh, I just always have it on silent and I just assume that is
I've been telling you.
So our first post, technically on the socials, but I think it was our leading up to the podcast was the 4th of June. And then the first official teaser was the 20th of June. And I think that was in a week lead up. So we released the first episode like just towards the end of June. So yeah, I'm going to put my phone on like silent now. I've learned a new thing. I just assumed that there was like vibrate or loud. There was no in between.
No, silent.
Wow. There we go. Ah, I did it.
Yay! Jess has learnt a new thing. She now has her phone on silent and not just vibrate.
Do you know what's really sad? I work in tech, so you would think I'm quite techie. And when I have to learn a thing, I'm very good at learning the new thing. But
you understand it quite well.
I'm not very good at sort of doing it off my own back, and unless it's something
Yeah.
that I need to do, and I've just never realised that that was a thing it could do. So thank you very much. That's very helpful.
That's all right. Did
So
you
if
think I
anybody
was
needs to know,
just telling you off every time? That's why
yeah, I
kept
genuinely
saying,
just
take
thought
it
you were
off
like,
and
oh,
vibrate.
but there was a cow. How? I mean, I could just turn it off. It's literally like if the world needs to get me some information in the hour and a half that we take to record a podcast, then they can manage it another way. Except I have no home phone. They can like bat signal me.
You just come round to your house.
What was that noise from? I've literally just finished.
Whoa.
There we go. I've literally just finished listening to episode 6. I have thoughts as well. Thoughts in the sense that I think we can turn our podcast into a drinking game.
Excellent. How?
Because I counted. I think I counted myself saying in the sense of. Is that what the thing was?
Yeah,
11
in the
times.
sense of.
In the sense of,
Amazing.
I counted 11 times. So if anybody needs a drinking game, I think that's a good one.
Maybe we do that for one episode as well. A special episode is just an unedited episode that we put out, so everyone can hear all of our likes, and in the sense of. If we ever get Patreon, you guys can have that. You can have an unedited version.
Yeah, it can be any form of like consumer game. Like it doesn't have to be a drinking game for those that are not those that consume alcoholic beverages.
You have to guess how many times we say certain phrases or something. You guess it at the beginning of the episode, and you
like
see
bingo.
Like bingo.
Crime time on my bestie bingo. Yeah. Normally there's probably like a way to do that would be just funny things that you talk about, and we're like, oh, pick out all the times that we mess up and say stupid things. In the sense of something like in theory, I said that quite a few times. It was quite bad. It was a long episode, though. That one was quite an in-depth episode of me talking about the case. So the one that we just recorded for my last episode, I don't think was as bad, but we shall see.
Oh, sorry. You were listening to which one? The one that's just been released?
Yeah, the one that's actually out to the public.
You left in 11 in the sense of.
It was only...
I thought you meant the recorded one.
No. So I removed some.
Oh, gosh.
11. Though there was obviously the one that you called out, which was like 3 or 4 in the sense of in the space of a 30-second sentence. And then just generally throughout the length of the podcast, it might have been slightly less than 11, but it felt like 11. I definitely got to 8 and then sort of stopped counting.
You were like, I can't hear myself.
I can't do it
anymore.
I'm giving myself the ick. It's done.
Well, hopefully our listeners don't get the ick from us, but they will have heard it now.
Yeah, they're never going to unhear it. I think that's it. Before, I would have not noticed it as much. There's an effect of this. I heard it on another podcast recently, but I can't remember what it is called. But it's like when you are made aware of something, and therefore it then becomes sort of like in your subconscious. So stupid things like, I bought my car, and so now I know what a car is. Sorry. Now I know what
a car is.
I know what a car is.
Well done.
I bought my car, so I know what my car looks like. So the make and model of my car, because I spent a while like researching it and looking at it and looking at advertisements of that type of car. And so now I seem to see a lot more of that car, but apparently it's just like a subconscious like awareness sort of thing. And so now me saying in the sense of is now ingrained in my subconscious as a bad thing, and therefore I'm gonna never not notice it.
It's not a bad thing. It was just funny in that moment because you said it 3 times in that sentence, I think,
and apparently 8 more times.
But you hadn't finished your thought at any point.
Just like constantly repeating the same thing in the sense of, in the sense of, in the sense of. But yeah,
that's why I was like, Jess, really?
But yeah. So sorry for those that, I mean, this is episode 9, so this is going to come out in 3 episodes time, but if you noticed it when listening to episode 6, I apologise. I only noticed it now, listening back to it, and I edited that 3 times.
You did.
And I did pull out all 11 of them.
But guys, if you do start a drinking game, let us know, or if you start playing bingo, we're going to have to come up with something, but create your own bingo. Let us know. Let us know what's on it.
Yeah, we can make a little bingo on bingo card on Canva and put it on the Instagram, and so people can cross it off.
What's mine? What are my things that I repeat?
I can't remember. You did have some.
I'm sure I did.
Wasn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Probably.
That's it. That's our homework. I'm going to pick something up in this episode. It's going to piss you off. You're going to be so annoyed because I'm going to
Found one, to be fair.
To be fair. There we go.
To be fair is definitely one. Also, I had point? Probably just forgetting halfway through a sentence is one.
We can have them bitching about the podcast. That's one.
Yeah, that we did do quite a lot to begin with. We've got better.
I mean, I would say that if I wasn't currently still in the living room, connected directly as in like Etherneted up to the Wi-Fi, well, it would be Wi-Fi, but you know what I mean.
Directly into the internet.
Taking all the internet speed.
All of the internet from everyone.
But yeah, I'm excited. I might have a little listen through a couple of our other episodes and make a little bingo card. I think it'd be cute.
Yeah, that'll be funny.
However, I feel like if people are not skippers and they are here because we're on 14 minutes and we haven't even done how has our week been, so I'm gonna jump.
We've been quite busy though, so I don't know about you, but I don't feel like I have that much to contribute to how was our week.
We went to a roller derby game.
We dressed up as a shark.
Yes, very good. If you saw our socials, we put some little pictures up. It was very fun. I didn't skate, but I did do my best benching. I was very impressed with all my shouting.
Bench stance. It was great. Jess has a very shouty voice. We could hear it across the hall. Perfection.
I would say that I was really shouting. There was only 2 times where I was really shouting, and one was to tell somebody to get off the track because our jammer was in the box and we were trying to field another jammer, which would have been a captain's penalty, which would have been really rubbish. Because the captain was also in the box at the time. Be like,
the captain was the jammer.
Yeah, the captain was currently in the box serving a penalty. To then make them serve an extra penalty for us messing up and fielding another jammer would have been very sad. And then the other one was because they weren't calling it, and I was like, call it! Really, really loudly, whilst they were directly in front of me, full blown screaming at them. I was like, you need to do what I'm telling you, please and thank you.
Calling it for the listeners is ending the jam, so that's where you can, how would you say, recycle people, put new people on the track.
Yeah, I would
explain it for someone that has never, not for our derby friends.
Yeah, we don't want to turn it into a derby podcast, but yeah, I mean, we could. But it is basically, there is 2 jammers. One can become lead. If they get lead, they control the jam and can end it whenever they choose, which normally is done in a way to stop the other jammer from scoring points. And then once you call it, the next jam starts, so you put new players on the track. If you have new players to put on, sometimes people go on one after the other. But yeah.
So that's in layman's terms, kind of. Because I realise that sometimes we will say things and I'm like, why don't you understand, people?
Should know all of the rule book, casebook studies and everything.
I don't know most of the rules, if I'm honest. I did say when I was at the game, I'm just here for vibes.
Vibes only. There was obviously the suggestion at one point as to whether you were going to bench or help benching. And I spoke to our head coach and I was like, oh, what do you think about Anna benching? And she was like, she'll be amazing, but it will be vibes only. I was like, yes, it will.
Yes, it will.
She'll be
what I told you
an amazing amount of vibes. You would bring an amazing amount of vibes, but knowing the actual rules, and don't get me wrong, did I know what was going on in the day? Not really. But it was still great fun.
You put on a very good front. I thought you knew what was going on. Whereas when you said, do you want to bench? I was like, how do I even do that? What does that mean? I'd literally be running around all right, call it now. I don't know. Do what you want.
Oh, you're having a good time? Carry on. You're having a great time. End it now. I've just seen the audio waves go really high because I was using my the cup of your hand to kind of create a path of noise. So I'm very sorry if that got a bit loud for a second. I'll bring the tone back down.
We'll go quiet. Well, we're never going to be quiet.
No.
I do have a side note. When you called out the time of when we were recording, we were talking about how much it was edited in Hoop last week, because one of the people that comes to Hoop, she has just listened to all of our episodes in a week.
Ooh, well
I know.
Done.
Well done, Katie.
Thank you for coming.
Different Katie to my sister, but she was saying, how edited is it? Because we would say quite a lot, we are, right now, we're 18, almost 19 minutes into recording, but obviously when we're playing it, because we've edited it, it'll be 15 minutes or whatever. So yes, very heavily edited.
There was one a little while ago, I can't remember what it was, and we cut out a big chunk. I can't remember why we cut it out, but it meant that the final recording was something like 2 hours, and the episode ended up being like an hour and 25 minutes. So we edited out 35 minutes of content. Not good content. We're not keeping really great stuff from you. It is literally just we've rambled on like this for 20 minutes, and we're like, we can't keep talking.
Okay. Would you like to hear my murder now?
I'd love to hear your murder now.
Well, so again.
Cross the bingo card.
Cross the bingo. No, sorry. I laughed and snotted.
Please keep that in. What do you have to edit out of the podcast? Me snotting into a tissue.
Nice. My murder this week is Hadj Mohammed Mesfewi, the Marrakesh Arch-Killer.
Okay. I feel like this is going to be hard for pronunciations.
It is going to be hard for pronunciations. I have tried to listen to it before coming into this, and the only way to say Mesfewi is to sound a little bit drunk. That's the only way that I can make my mouth do it. Other people, fine. For me. So I do apologise, but it's spelled Mesfewi.
Okay, I would have pronounced it Mesfewi. Is that what you're saying? Mesfewi? Mesfewi.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I am pronouncing something like what you said.
Okay.
My sources for this week are Wikipedia, 2 different Medium articles, They Will Kill You article, MRU article, Trove website, which gave me a newspaper article from 1907, Weird History Facts website, and History of Yesterday article. And the trigger warnings are claustrophobia, murder, drugging, torture, and decapitation.
I'm glad that we give trigger warnings as part of the podcast. I feel like it's a nice one, but it does make you wonder every time that we say them of like, what are we doing with our lives? Like,
it does, but also sometimes I kind of like it because when you get to a certain point in the case and you're like, wait, you said this in the trigger warnings. Where has this come into it? And it's normally
I'm curious about the
just
claustrophobia one.
Well. I was going to say, normally it's something that's right at the end. As soon as you go, but didn't you say this? That's when you go, well, I'm about to tell you. I'm not going to tell you about the claustrophobia straight away.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's good to have the trigger warning for our listeners that appreciate them. But again, it does just make you go, this is an interesting thing to be doing on a Wednesday night.
I know. We have picked an interesting hobby.
We could switch it up into a Debbie podcast whenever you want. I don't mind.
I will just be there for vibes.
Please continue.
I forgot to tell you what my teasers were at the beginning from last week. So my teasers were Marrakesh, Shoemaker, and Cell.
Oh, okay. Do you know what? I'd actually forgotten that. I remembered Marrakesh. I forgot the last 2, so thank you for that. Shoemaker and Cell. Okay.
Yes. Hadj Mohammed Mesfewi was born in Marrakesh, Morocco, somewhere between 1850 and 1870, although the exact date is unknown. Marrakesh was an extremely popular market town, attracting locals and foreigners alike. With all of the hustle and bustle, it was extremely difficult for the local guards to keep up with the rising crime, and it could be a dangerous place to be. Mesfewi worked as a shoemaker and trader. One article said that he was a public writer and people came to him to dictate their letters. He had a shop in the centre of Marrakesh, and during my research I found conflicting accounts on whether people liked him or not.
I mean, it's 1870, or 1870 is when he's born, right?
Between 1850 and 1870 is when he's born. So,
yeah, I feel like having sources at all is still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, they're light. This isn't a particularly long one. It's interesting, but considering some of my other cases had 6 pages of notes, this has 3, including all the sources.
Oh, fair play.
But it is quite interesting. So,
oh no, I just meant in the sense of fuck.
Everyone take a shot.
I just meant that. I don't know how to say the sentence without it.
You can say it sometimes.
No, I can't. I just meant that to have information for a case from like over 100 and possibly 130 years ago, maybe. Roughly.
Yeah.
It's still pretty good.
Yeah, it would be 125 from when it actually happens. But yeah, and there's even an article from a newspaper of that time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I know it sounds really stupid. Like, there was like civilized society back then, but my brain just kind of forgets. It's like, oh no, the 1900s or the 1800s. They're like It's too far away. I
I know,
think
I get what it's like. I get that as well. It just doesn't make sense. And why would they still have the article? How? I don't get that.
Yeah.
That's
There was no
wild.
Google.
There was no Google back then. Nothing lived on the internet. It didn't exist.
No. Just stored in a box somewhere forever.
Exactly. And how? I would have definitely like knocked a drink on it or something.
Yeah. It's like, oops, destroyed, but like precious artifacts.
Don't leave me with anything very precious.
Good thing you never went into like history or anything like that. Like an not architect.
Archaeologist?
Archaeologist? Yeah, archaeologist.
Just breaking everything.
Yeah, you managed to destroy, like, dug up things. I feel like that'd be quite impressive.
I could probably do that. I'd probably trip and fall. In the They Will Kill You article, it said that people trusted him and he was well respected in the community, and many people, including young women, would visit his shop. However, in the MRU article, they said that his reputation was not good and that everyone knew he had previously killed at least one person and got away with it without being arrested. And then in another article, it described him as mysterious, as if he was hiding something. So, completely conflicting accounts of whether people liked him or didn't like him.
Yeah, it's quite varied as well. Like, mysterious, fair enough, you know. But, he murdered somebody and got away with it.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like,
do we like this person?
Well, no, we don't like him. He is the murderer. But I feel like he had to have some kind of charming aspect to him because he is a serial killer that does go on to kill quite a few women. Spoiler. Oh my gosh.
Seduces them with his shoes? Oh, don't tell me. It's a surprise.
Stop trying to guess.
Sorry. It was intriguing. We do this to ourselves.
We do.
That's my guess. He seduces them with his shoes, and you didn't say cannibalism, so he's not eating them and turning them into leather. So
I'm sure there is a murderer that does that. Maybe we'll Google that later.
Isn't that just Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Turns people into clothes.
But is that a real case?
Googling.
Oh well, there is a person that made a lampshade out of human skin. What's his name?
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like our listeners are yelling at us.
No, Leatherface is not based on a true story. But the character Ed Gein.
Ah.
Ed Gein.
He was the one that made the lampshade, right?
It doesn't specifically say lampshade, but he was a real person known for exhuming corpses and making items from their human remains. So Ed Gein. I feel like it's Ed Gein. The name sounds familiar.
It was in the serial killer exhibition that me and Katie went to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, your guess is enticed them in with shoes, didn't eat them
or turn them into shoes, but then tricked them with his shopper wiles and murdered them.
Okay, interesting. Between 1902 and 1906, young girls began to go missing without a trace at an alarming rate. To begin with, it was assumed that they were being kidnapped by travellers or traders that came to Marrakesh. There would be 10 missing one year, maybe 20 missing the next, but in early 1906, when over 30 women went missing, the authorities became suspicious.
Again, it's one of those things where, like, what were they doing with the 10 and 20 that went missing years before? Were they just like, oh, they're gone? Like, was there any investigation? This just feels crazy. Just be like, oh, they probably got kidnapped by travellers, but we're not going to do anything about it.
Well, from the articles, I wasn't super clear if all of these women went missing very soon after each other, or if it was an overall amount of people that went missing is in the 30s, or is it more or less or whatever, because we definitely know there was at least 36 women that went missing. And in one article it said, because I'll go on to it, it says that 36 women went missing in a 2-week time frame.
That's insane.
But in other articles it was saying it was building up, so right. I'm a bit confused.
I see. About so it could have been
how it
Yeah,
worked.
So it could have been 10 in a year, but it might have been like 1 a month, and then a couple months later, like 3 in a month, or so not necessarily like one a month sort of thing, and then the next year was like 2 a month, because like you would see a pattern, and you would think that they'd be like, maybe we should investigate this because this doesn't sort of line up with the idea of like a random group of travellers coming through and kidnapping a couple of women. But still, it would have been nice to think they were investigating.
Yeah, and I might be interpreting it a bit wrong. They might have all happened in one go. And maybe they by the time they started paying attention, all of these women were gone.
Yeah, I just find it wild that it's like, oh, the police were suspicious when 30 went missing. But the 20 from before, that was fine. That was, about average, which maybe it is, which is still a horrible statistic to have. But I'm glad that they got to some conclusion.
We don't know how many people are normally being kidnapped by travellers. Like, is there an average rate at that time? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's like a known crime spree that they just kind of accept because they can't squash it. I don't know. I know. Terrible. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, you're all right.
I had to exclaim my dismay.
That is what this podcast is. Yelling at each other.
About the stupid ridiculousness of these crimes.
When the 36th person to go missing in a 2-week time frame, what am I trying to say with this note? I don't even know what this sentence is trying to say.
No, you could do it. Yeah, no, do it again. So, wait, I'll do it for you. Anna's done this 4 times. The 36th woman went missing, and so her family started to investigate, and they tracked down her last known whereabouts, which was Mesfewi's shop.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sometimes you just need a friend to help you out.
Take the burden of the load. Quick, just send me your notes now, and I'll try my best.
The ensuing investigation unravelled the full extent of his crimes, sending shockwaves through Marrakesh and beyond. That was fully quoted. I didn't come up with that.
Oh, you could have done it and I would have just believed you. Like, building the drama.
I'm building the drama. It sent shockwaves throughout. Do you feel dramatic?
It's super dramatic. I would say, though, did you say the family investigated and found out about Mesfewi? Again, where are the police? I don't understand what you're
just
doing.
Bumbling around, just bumping into things like, I
don't get it. Like, 36 people have gone missing. If the family can figure it out, surely the police with all their resources can also figure it out. Like, it's not like, unless they're somehow superhuman and, you know, can see through walls and reverse time. Like,
I don't get it.
Do you know what I mean? The whole purpose of the police is that's meant to be their job and they're meant to be really good at it. That's why they have it as a job. So if the people that are just the general civilians can figure it out, why can't you?
Exactly. I agree.
Rant over. Actually, that's a lie. It's probably going to be another one in 30 seconds, but...
This particular rant about police in 1906 in Marrakesh is over.
Yeah.
The Moroccan authorities searched his shop and found 20 bodies buried in a pit beneath. And, sorry, let me do that again. I wrote these notes so late last night, I don't think I read them through last night as well.
You at least wrote them the night before rather than me who's like bumbling 20 minutes before the episode's meant to be recorded, going like, why do I not get this done sooner?
Every week. Why don't I learn?
Every week. Do you know what? Actually, I was tempted to start doing my notes tomorrow for my episode because I was like, I found my case. So go me.
Sure,
I'm probably not going to.
No.
I'm not gonna.
To be fair, I've said that for the last 3 episodes, that I'm like, right, I know what my case is. Let's just do it. Let's just bash it out.
Yeah.
Never. Not once. Not once have I done that.
We're not that organised.
No. There's always more time in my head than there physically is.
Thing is, when I need to be, I am the most organised person. I just apparently not with that.
I need the pressure.
I do like the pressure.
I need
Makes
to think,
things happen faster.
Fuck, Jess is going to hate me if I don't get this done now.
Pressure and guilt, that's what keeps life, like, spicy.
The thing with the guilt, though, is it's not even guilt from the other person. The amount of times we text each other to say, I haven't done this or I haven't done that, and the other person always says, that's fine, I don't care. But we're like, oh my God, you must hate me. Da, 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 and I interpret your it's fine as, well, she hates me and this is over.
Yeah, the podcast is done. It's never
happened. The podcast is done, the friendship is done. This is what broke us because I didn't post my teaser at 7. I posted it at 7:15. Done.
Yeah. Like, what was it? I posted a teaser on Sunday, which is perfectly valid, but I'd said in the schedule that I was going to post my tiny mic, and I was like, I've ruined everything. It's devastating. I've messed up the entire plan. And you were like, just don't post the other teaser. And I was like, oh yeah.
I think my initial response was, I didn't even notice.
You think so little. Okay, this is like a 15-minute rant.
I care. I just wasn't looking at it as much as you were.
Devastated.
But post it when you want. I don't care.
Okay. Please tell me about Mesfewi's 20 bodies under the floor in the basement.
Where did I get to?
20 bodies under the floor in the basement. That was the bit.
The Moroccan authorities searched his shop and found 20 bodies buried in a pit beneath his shop.
No, you said that.
Yeah, but then I couldn't say the next bit, so then I was gonna re-say the sentence.
Right. Sorry. Okay, my bad. Say it again.
No, we're carrying on. And then a further 16 victims were found in his garden.
That's the 36 women.
That's the 36 women.
Where did the other 30 go, I wonder? Maybe he's just been like...
I might have made up the 30. Please don't fixate on that 30.
So I'm sorry. I'm like, what? Please, where is the factual information that I don't always provide in my own research to these 30 women?
I need to know where every single body is.
What are you playing at, Mesfewi? Okay, 16 in his garden, 20 in the shop.
If the other 30 exist, they're not here.
They ever existed, and they weren't completely a figment of your imagination, or whatever the source information provided.
I mean, they kept changing when they went missing, so it was hard to follow. Don't judge me on my research.
I'm joking. Honestly, after last week, where it was just pure chaos of like, maybe this happened at this time, I don't know. I have no right to judge, but thank you for that 36 people, because the maths adds up. So you got at least a 36, right?
Exactly. I'm doing something right.
I do realise this is also going off topic once again. But I would say that I feel like the podcast, as the episodes have progressed, have gotten a little bit more chaosy. And at the beginning, we were like really serious and really trying to like, you know, do our research and tell our stories. And like we'd step in every now and again with like a little note or a little comment, or we'd have a little like, oh, this is kind of funny, something else related within the sphere of whatever we were talking about. And now we're like, pah, chaos.
We've settled into it and we're just yelling all the time, yelling at each other, interesting anecdotes about things that are not related, but we've decided they're going to be.
Hopefully people were still interested and find this kind of genre of true crime interesting. So let's go. Next line of research.
Oh yeah, we've got a case to carry on talking about.
Woo!
I'm proud of us though for getting more confident and more us about this. Just going
This
chaosy.
is us. Just as if it wasn't clear, this is how all conversations go, and this is how we interact and spend time with each other.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Love it. Mesfewi was arrested, as well as his accomplice, who he lived and worked with, a 70-year-old woman named Anna Rahili. And it was believed that he was around 60 at this time. So I don't know if they were a couple or not, but he's 60, she's 70-ish. The local authorities tortured Anna until she confessed what had happened.
Oh, they're cruel, and 1906 has very little law and standards, apparently.
Oh, they are very cruel with their punishments. And actually, it did say on some article, I think I've deleted it now, that like serial killers have always existed, but their punishments were a lot harsher back then.
Unless you're Pedro Lopez, apparently, but...
Well, yeah, apparently people are just saving him willy-nilly.
Sorry, not last week, episode 6. I'm listening to it now, so it's a confusing situation, but yeah. But fair play, 1906, Marrakesh, you know. I don't support torture for getting a confession out of people, but I don't want to say well done. I don't know.
They were shit people, so at the same time,
but
it got the confession.
But then also, was it coercion? So like you can get false confessions from...
I mean, the bodies were literally beneath his shop.
That's true.
And
they didn't really need the confession. They surely having the bodies was enough, you would think.
Exactly. And then he confesses in a minute.
Did they torture him? Am I jumping ahead?
Yeah.
I'll stop. Okay.
So the authorities tortured Anna until she confessed what happened. The women would come to Mesfewi. What?
That was so wrong.
Mesfewi?
Mesfewi.
The women would come to Mesfewi to seek assistance dictating letters, as it was common to not have great literacy skills in those days. So it was only one article that said that he did this, but then in some of the other articles, they said that was the reason these women were coming to him.
Oh, so it wasn't the shoes.
So it wasn't the shoes, but maybe it was also the shoes. Who knows? After, Mesfewi and Anna would offer them dinner, where Anna would give them drugged wine, which would cause them to pass out. Mesfewi would then pull out a dagger, killing them and then decapitating them. He would bury them beneath his shop or in his garden. There was no official motive for this, but it was implied that they did this to rob the women. Although... I
was going to say, is there a purpose to this? Because they're coming to him for help and he's just like, nope, dead, sorry. Yeah, I feel like...
I mean, there wasn't a good motive. It said that he did it to rob them, but then, my literal next note
I jumped ahead again.
Although he gained very little, he would take any jewels or money that they had on him. But basically, he gained nothing by robbing these women.
Yeah,
They just
because
didn't
in
really have
theory, if they've got
anything.
nothing on them, like, I guess they would be paying him for his service to dictate the letter, but I don't know what, or they might not have been. Maybe he was in theory offering it as like a goodwill gesture.
I don't know, it doesn't say.
I don't know, but then you could question a lot of serial killers as to what their
Yeah.
motives were, and maybe they don't really have any other than just like, I like killing people.
Potentially he is like this because that is the only semblance of a reason.
I was gonna, so like, I have to say it. It's a bad joke, but everybody needs a hobby. Don't be a serial killer.
Don't be a serial killer. What's the social media thing? God forbid a woman has a hobby.
Yeah.
God
Where it's
forbid
like,
this man or woman has a hobby.
Yeah, but don't be a serial killer, please.
Don't be a serial killer, please, guys.
That's not a hobby. That's a bad thing. Don't break the law as part of your hobby.
And this case may deter you from being a serial killer because it's not very nice what happens to him. But
something about a cell and
something
claustrophobia.
About a cell. I did think it was interesting that this was very similar. The murders, at least, were very similar to the first episode. Like, there's no cannibalism, so there's nothing of that. But the drugged wine, the passing out, killing them.
I did think that. It gave very Leonardo Cianciulli vibes.
Yeah. So yeah, Leonardo Cianciulli, him, same,
she
but different.
Was like 1600s, wasn't she?
No, 1930, because it was during the war.
Oh yeah, you're right. Why did I think it was later? I wonder whether, like, if it had been published, maybe she got some ideas from them, influenced by Mesfewi of Marrakesh.
Maybe.
You said it was in a news article.
Yeah, and it is internationally known after this because of how cruel the punishment was. So maybe she took a little bit of inspiration. Because it's same but different up until the decapitation.
Yeah, and he didn't eat them.
Mesfewi eventually admitted to all of the murders, and because of this, he was found guilty, convicted, and taken to prison. And then I put, now this is where the case gets interesting. The public wanted them to suffer for their crimes, so the pair were regularly taken out of prison and paraded through the streets of Marrakesh on donkeys. I just didn't write this very well.
I also like how the sort of tone went up. I was like, on donkeys. Like, I don't know why it was so funny. It was like, paraded through the town on donkeys. And I was just like,
donkeys.
Oh, so sorry.
Guys, if you ever want to make a podcast, maybe don't write your notes at midnight the day before your episode is coming. You're recording your episode. The public wanted them to suffer for their crimes, so the pair were regularly taken out of prison and paraded through the streets of Marrakesh, naked and on donkeys, and humiliated whilst they were made to make loud confessions of their crimes.
It's like the equivalent of Game of Thrones' Shame.
It really is. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did the whole shame thing as well. They were also publicly whipped at least 10 times with a thorny acacia. I think is that what the plant is called. It's a thorny stick. And people would pour vinegar and salt onto their wounds to make them extremely painful.
Oh, I feel this is pretty, like, you're right, this is quite a punishment. Like, I'm not saying that they don't deserve it. They killed 36 people, plus maybe that other random 30 that we don't know if they exist or not.
Shut up!
But there's a part of me that's like, oh, fair play to these people. And there's another part of me like, oh, this is quite a lot.
It's a lot. And there is a discussion about whether there was like mob mentality with it. And is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? I mean, in this case, they're garbage human beings. So,
yeah.
But mob mentality in general, not good.
It's a very different kind of justice system, isn't it? Like back in that time period, it might have been quite normal. But like whether if that was to happen in this day and age, whether I would be like, oh yeah, that's great because they deserve.
Yeah, no,
I mean, like I don't think it's great back then either, but it's just like
it might have been normal.
Yeah, you're a really, really bad person, and you probably do deserve some bad things to happen to you for the things that you've done. Whether I'd say those bad things are to be whipped with a thorny stick and then have vinegar poured on you,
just specifically to make it painful.
Yeah, like does a bad thing and a bad thing make a good thing? Not really.
Yeah. So this happened every day for at least 4 weeks. Anna died at some point during this torture, either from the torture itself or she was killed by the public.
Just thought that. You literally said there's 60 and 70. And 60 and 70 for the 1900s as well.
Is impressive.
That's impressive. Like, you know, people were dying in, well, I don't know how young, but I can't imagine
I don't think they were living to 70.
I don't know. Maybe we should Google it. But yeah, they weren't living to the 80s and 90s unless they were like really rich and wealthy and not dying from
being tortured.
Not being tortured, yeah.
But yeah, so she either died from the torture itself, which obviously would be a lot on their bodies, or she was killed by the public, like as they were being paraded out, that they like lynched her.
Wow.
Yes. So not a nice crowd. Pretty brutal.
And every day for a month.
Mm.
There's punishment, and then there's, are you just doing this for fun now?
Oh, we're still getting into it.
Oh, sorry. Oh, wow.
We're not
I've jumped ahead again.
You jumped ahead.
So Anna's dead.
Anna's dead. There were lots of suggestions on how Mesfewi should be sentenced to death, which included crucifixion, hanging, being burnt alive, and being beheaded.
Oof.
I put that the latter probably would have fit his crimes quite well.
Like, you've done this to other people, so now you receive the same fate, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Being burned alive, though.
That's rough. That was actually in the article from the newspaper from the 1907. It wasn't mentioned in any other article, but it was mentioned in that newspaper, so I feel like it's more likely that they were considering that.
I don't know whether it's a point to keep in, because I don't know if it's true or not. But I've heard that being burned alive is, like, you will obviously be in excruciating pain, but eventually your body will literally just, like, shut down and the adrenaline will kick in, because you can't handle that much pain.
Yeah.
So your body will just kind of
stop it
out
for you.
And then you will obviously eventually die, but it's not like you're feeling it all for the entire time until you're
feeling it for a set amount of time, and then your body's like, nope.
But then I don't know, obviously the factor is you've been burned alive, so you're probably dead, so maybe there's not that many people that can give a factual
yeah, they're not telling you what's happened. By the way, this is how it works.
Yeah, this is the level of pain. I'm like, oh, interesting.
Just go with it. The public, however, thought that none of these punishments were harsh enough and demanded more.
Okay, now it is a mob mentality, because those punishments were pretty bad.
They're
like, no, these perfectly valid forms of punishment aren't good enough.
And he's had weeks of torture before this, and then torture before that to get him to admit to the crimes.
I'm not saying that the stuff he did wasn't horrible. It feels like there's a limit, and we might be past the limit.
Finally, on June 11th, 1906, Mesfewi received his final punishment that would mean his death. The punishment is called immurement, which means walling in Latin. A person is walled in somewhere with no exits. The person within these confines will usually die of dehydration or starvation, as there is generally some kind of airflow present, although it's limited. And the airflow is what sets it apart from being buried alive, where the victim usually dies of asphyxiation. So there is slight differences.
So it's deliberately keeping you alive with just enough oxygen that you can breathe, but no other sustenance.
Yeah.
So you're just going to, like you said, you're going to dehydrate or starve.
Yeah, so it's going to elongate the suffering of the victim.
Oh, I already said rough, but double rough.
Double rough. Immurement was popular in medieval times, but it can be traced back as far as the Roman Empire. An American newspaper covering Mesfewi's crimes said a death by walling up alive had not been seen in Marrakesh for many years, but there was those who told the others that the victims had been known sometimes to live for a whole week, and so the good news spread. The people brought their provisions and this word I don't know, but basically crowds formed. It was a very long word that just had lots of syllables that I just didn't think I could pronounce on this podcast because I'm struggling today. Mesfewi had no idea of his fate when he was taken to the great square of the city, in full view of everyone. When he approached the square, he realised I said fate twice.
Oh yeah, because that's, saying the same word or phrase twice is obviously an absolute devastating moment.
That's on the bingo card. Me making some kind of noise instead of saying a word.
Quick, thesaurus the word fate.
When he approached the square, He realised what was going to happen and screamed for mercy. That was on the fly there. They created a cell for him 60 centimetres deep and wide and 1.8 metres high. So it was 2 foot by 2 foot by 6 foot. So basically the size of a human.
I was going to say, does it have any information about how tall he is? Is it like built to be his exact height, or would he have to have like...
It doesn't
crouch?
say. It doesn't say. I think it is probably around his height. I don't think he has much room to crouch.
I was going to say, because obviously, like, I'm 5'4", so for me, there's head height there.
Yeah.
But if he's like over 6 foot and he's having to crouch, like, the whole punishment is just garbage and really gross. But I feel like if you were stuck in a box, forced into a very like hard position for a week, that would be more torture than just having to stand in the box. But either way, it's bad for the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I
but
don't
like if you
know.
were like,
and I also don't know how like
up.
big he was. Like, I don't know if he's
true. He could be quite broad
because
yeah,
obviously if you're super skinny, you might have a little wiggle room. But if you're super broad, 60 centimeters is not that wide.
No.
This meant he would have to stay standing until he died. He was chained inside, and they bricked him in as he screamed. An eerie silence came over the crowd temporarily so they could hear him suffer. He survived 2 days, yelling the whole time, before going quiet on June 13th and presumably dying.
Not necessarily. He could have just run out of energy.
Yeah, but I think they leave him in for a bit. Like, they don't just open.
No, that's what I mean. They're saying he's dead after 2 days. He could still be alive and just still suffering.
I think he would make
just run
some
out of
kind
energy
of
to
noise.
Scream. Maybe.
I think he'd make some kind of noise of some kind. I don't know though.
Mm.
I've never walled someone in, so
no, it's not something that I do on my weekends. So.
No, me either. The crowds were not satisfied with his death, as they said he had died too quickly.
Mm.
And that is the case of the Marrakesh Arch-Killer, Hadj Mohammed Mesfewi.
It's like a Roman time of like gladiator.
Yeah.
But you're putting them in a ring, you're getting a crowd, and it's a sport to watch people basically be killed. And I feel like
a good way of like describing it.
I've a lot this episode, so apologies if you have to cut those out because that will probably be difficult. But yeah, I feel like they wanted a lot, and they did make this person suffer quite considerably for quite a long period of time. Do you know what I mean? Like, you weren't happy with hanging and beheading and burning alive. I mean, yeah. Well, I missed the crucifixion completely. I was aghast at the burning alive, to be honest. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I do have a question.
Yeah.
Why is it called the Arch-Killer of Marrakesh? What's the arch about? You don't know.
I don't know.
Oh no. Oh, that's okay. So sorry.
I am going to spin a story.
Okay.
His shop was underneath an arch, and that's where they found all of the bodies, and his garden was underneath a little arch, and that's why they called it the Arch-Killer.
I feel like if you just left it as the shop underneath an arch, it would have been totally believable. But you know that bit in Friends where Joey's like, a raccoon came in, and then and then he was waving at the window and like tapping, and like the arch with the house, the double arch. Because maybe he would.
Wow, you don't believe my story?
I believe the first arch.
Rude.
But it's a very good story. But yeah, that crowd they were out for blood. Well, more than blood. They were out for, I don't know, blood, guts, bones, and everything.
It's the fact that they brought a snack. Like, they brought picnics to sit around his tomb, essentially.
Wouldn't put it past some people to be fully for that. For like the worst, do you know what I mean? The worst people in the world that have done bad things.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it? I don't know when they stopped doing it, but obviously they used to still have the electric chair quite late into the 90s, into like 1900 sort of thing, like 1980s maybe. I don't know when the last point of the electric chair was. And I think pretty sure in France there was hangings for ages and guillotines. Like, it was technically still classified as a type of punishment for a while. You could still do it, but it just didn't get done for a while. And obviously those things are normally public events. You could go to an electric chair viewing and they'd obviously like have a little glass window and stuff. So for people that obviously have lost a loved one to this person, I can almost see the gratification of seeing that person's life end.
Yeah.
But to the level that they put through Anna and
they just kept going.
I don't. They just kept going. They were fully out for everything, like not
And
just out for blood.
And there was 36 families, potentially 66 families, but we're not mentioning the other 30.
Yeah.
Going for it.
I think I said it a few times, but I guess fair play, Marrakesh. It's a good
Brutal.
case, but like you said, the level of oh my god comes from everything after, so that's wild.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're semi-desensitized to serial killers, and 36 people in his garden and under his shop is a lot of bodies. Like a lot of bodies. And for them all to have been beheaded as well, because they were all beheaded.
It's not good.
But the torture and the punishments afterwards and what they cycled through in terms of what could have ended his life, like we said, the being burnt alive, the crucifixion, the hanging, beheading, and then walling someone in and sitting there and listening day and night for days to hear him scream is wild.
I feel like if you were in that position and you've lost your loved one, as well as we don't know to what degree, we know he killed them and stabbed them and decapitated them, which is disgusting in itself as an act that you can commit as a human to multiple people. But we also don't know what he did other than that.
Yeah, it's not been recorded whether he did other things or if his accomplice did other things as well to them.
Yeah. Those families will feel perfectly justified in enacting that sort of stuff on him. I just can't imagine it. I suppose it's more, I can't imagine it in this day and age, and I don't know
100%.
how people would feel about it. But then at the same time, if you found out somebody had killed 36 people, maybe that would be the level of punishment that you wanted them to receive.
Yeah.
They probably just wouldn't receive it in this kind of society that we live in.
Yeah. The walling in wasn't common at the time, at least not in Marrakesh, but I don't know if they had equally harsh punishments.
Yeah, thank you very much I am very sorry. I can't remember the full name, so I'm just going to say the story of Mesfewi.
Yeah, just go with that because I don't want to say the full name. Can't pronounce things today, which is, great for a podcast.
It's something that I'm sure we'll come across in future episodes because there'll be days where you just can't talk properly.
They're common for me. For the listeners, if it sounds like we've come in saying something weird from now on, we've just spent, I think, 15 minutes waiting for Jess's cat to finish eating because she was very loud.
She was very loud. She was crunching on all her biscuits. It's only because the cats don't particularly like each other. They weirdly were friends when we adopted them, but we think because one of them has cancer, they don't like their scent anymore. And basically, the living room is one of their safe space. We like to give them their own areas if they want to get away from the other one. So because I'm recording in the living room, the other one was in her cat tree asleep when I started, and then decided that she wanted to come out and have some dinner, which is perfectly acceptable because her dinner is in this room. But it did
just
mean we had
timing.
to sit there. Bad timing, sit there for 10 minutes. So yeah, so sorry about that. I think I was going to mention about my excitement of I'm ordering some slightly official feeling podcasting stuff. So I found some audio paneling.
Are you saying that these red mics that cost £15 from Amazon are not official fancy podcasting mics?
No. I'm also saying though that I did find 2 mics that look really official that probably aren't for £15 each, and they come with a little arm and everything, which looked really cool. But yeah, I'll send it to you. But yeah, I'm ordering some audio boxing stuff that's used in recording rooms, but it's collapsible, so it means I can put it away. And hopefully, I'll get to use that either, if not in our next recording, the recording after, just because I will like to be back in the office eventually once I've got my internet situation sorted. And hopefully it'll avoid me being in the audio box of doom, audio blanket 4 or whatever we want to call it, because it's
especially
very
when it was
warm.
Very hot and very stuffy.
The other thing I was going to say was it was something that I probably could have mentioned in how your week has been moment, because I was like, I need to bring this up either just to you, Anna, or to the podcast in general. So if anyone is looking for anything to watch in the true crime sphere, me and Sam watched this week, and it was honestly, I've never been so hooked on something and then completely aghast, flabbergasted
Better
at the
than
outcome.
Abducted in Plain Sight?
Yes.
Okay.
Better than Abducted in Plain Sight. Don't get me wrong, not as... It's just the twist. It's the twist in the case that you're no
I think I
way.
know what this is.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I think it got spoiled on Instagram for me.
Oh, yeah, it probably is because it has been all over TikTok and Instagram. But if you haven't watched it, It's the unknown number, the high school catfish.
Yeah, I know the twist
Oh,
in
has
it.
it
We're
been
not
spoiled
gonna.
too?
Yeah.
Oh,
To
devastated.
be fair, it was is it Shabazz, the I'm rich you're poor guy, the Povo guy.
Oh yeah, I know who you are. Oh, he is good.
Yeah, he is good. And to be fair to him, he did say spoiler, and I was like,
and you watched it
I think it's fine. I won't be pissed off by this spoiler. Watched it and was like, God damn it, I was pissed off by the spoiler.
Yeah, I would have been pissed off by the spoiler because as it happened, as I was watching it, I was like, oh my god, I am astounded.
I'm still going to watch it.
Yeah, I'd still watch it because it's still, as you watch the show and then when you get the plot twist, you're like, this is mad. Don't get me wrong, Abducted in Plain Sight has very many levels of what the fuck is going on right now and how this has been allowed to continue.
Yeah, that goes on for ages.
It was random in the fact that I was just sort of sitting there. I was like, I'm going to put something on the TV that I don't know, it might be fun to watch, but I'm not super invested. And then like 25 minutes in, I was like, I can do nothing else than watch. And it's about an hour and 40 minutes, I think. So it's quite like a commitment to sit there and watch. And both me and Sam were like glued. And then it got to like 5:20. And we were like, crap, we both need to be like up eating dinner, getting ready to go out because I had choir and he had snooker. So yeah, it's a good show. I would highly recommend.
I will watch it in the next couple of weeks. So probably by the time we record our next episode, I'll be like, God damn it.
Well, to be fair, this episode won't come out for another month. About a month?
Yeah.
But I'd imagine by that point most people would have watched it. So if you're on this train, as I was this week with the emotional roller coaster that I went through, then welcome. And
I'm watching My Life with the Water Boys at the moment.
I did debate about it.
I love it.
Is it on the same kind of level as to All the Boys I Loved Before?
Yeah.
Kind of gives me that kind of vibe.
It is. It's that kind of vibe. And that just, I don't know why, it really warms my soul. And I love To All the Boys I Loved Before. And I like watch it on repeat. It's like a comfort show. And I feel the same about My Life with the Water Boys. So that's what I'm watching at the moment. And it's making me feel all like, yeah, isn't that nice?
Maybe I have to watch that at some point then. I don't think we've ever done a film/TV recommendation. Maybe people will like it. Maybe they'll hate it. Maybe they'll be
let us know.
The murder chat ended 15 minutes ago. Like, why are you still talking?
But yes, let us know. What are you watching as well? Would you like to tell us your teasers for next episode?
Yes, I would. So, my teasers are Sweden, Dog Walk, and Apples.
Interesting.
I went for something a bit out there, I'm not going to lie.
I was going to say, I'm trying to think of how these fit in together, and you said it was a slightly more light-hearted episode.
Weirdly, because I have, like I said, listened back to episode 6, I said in it that I didn't want to do like quite a heavy case after it because the research had been so much because Pedro Lopez was quite a hefty kind of serial killer. Last episode was the murder of Anne-Marie Fahey, and that was still quite an intense one. So I was like, I had said to myself that I would do something a little bit more lighthearted, but I didn't. I did quite an intense case, and so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go.
But you did a lighthearted one before Pedro.
Yeah, true. So this is my go back in with a lighthearted. Don't get me wrong,
lighthearted
still
with murder.
Yeah, it's lighthearted with murder. It's still true crime adjacent, and I look forward to it. So yeah, it is Sweden, Dog Walk, and Apples.
Okay, I'm excited.
I do make the teasers quite weird.
I feel like all of the teasers are weird when you're taking them out of context.
Yeah, again, I had somebody message a friend of mine and they said that they got Pedro Lopez from the teasers. So I was quite impressed with that.
They're so good at that.
They really are.
I'd be interested to know if they got this one, because this one's a bit older.
I have to message them and be like, did you figure this out? We would like to know.
If you guys know, let us know, because we'll have recorded it by then, so you're not spoiling anything by the time the episode comes out.
Was it a surprise? Was it not? Have we covered it well enough to make it worth it? Is it going to be your Lacey Peterson case that you have listened to 15 million times, or your John Benet Ramsey?
Well, we kind of do cases that are kind of out there, so I don't.
We haven't done any of the big ones. We haven't
Yet.
done any of the big ones yet. Maybe we can draw a line in the sand and say that's what our 21st episode is. It's one of the big cases that are very well known, such as your John Benet Ramsey, and think of others.
The Staircase, Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy.
We know true crime. Ed
Gein.
No.
Ed Kemper.
And there's someone else I'm trying to think of. I can't remember their name.
God, we're so good at this. Someone should give us a podcast. Oh, wait.
Rosemary West.
That one we did think we are going to do. You're probably going to do that one at some point. Right, we need to end this podcast.
I have a new thing to add to like our end thing at the end. So obviously, if you want to catch our podcast, you can listen to wherever you get your podcasts, which includes Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And if you want to show your appreciation for us, you can like, follow, subscribe, and comment, and give us a 5-star review.
Please do, because we want more people to listen to us.
Yeah, from my understanding of at least what other podcasts in the true crime sphere have said, if you get more reviews and people say how great your podcast is, it builds your algorithm and then it sends it out to other people. And we'd love for more people to be involved.
Please. And tell all your friends, tell your family, tell your co-workers, tell everyone. I'm not far off from telling people on the street that I have a podcast.
Yeah, random people at the gym.
Why not? Drop it into conversation.
Be fun. Nobody will think you're crazy. So.
Anyway.
But yeah, thank you so much for bringing this case this week.
That's okay. Thank you for listening to my case.
This episode, bringing this case this episode.
Are you okay? Okay, guys, we need to go. Jess is having a breakdown.
Always. Every day. Every week. Always having a breakdown. My hair's still here. It's fine.
Right. You're doing all right. So, bye, bestie.
Bye, bestie.
Bye.
Bye.